Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to do rig removal in stop motion. So as you can see, we have two different frames here. The first one is uh, the raw file here, and it has the rig in it. The second one, I digitally removed it, and the process I used for this one, I used Photoshop to take out the rig. But today I'm going to be showing you a few different ways of how to achieve the same thing. So the first way of doing this, I think it would probably be the simplest for beginners as far as understanding how it works before you go in more complex. The first one I would recommend is Bafran. It's a small piece of software. It's free. You can find it on a German website called bricktrick.de. I can leave a link in the description for you so you can get to it easily. So basically, yeah, you download this. It's really small. It's free. It shows you how to. It basically just kind of, this small article here. It shows you exactly how to use it. It shows you the process of how it works. So yeah, I definitely recommend this. It's good for beginners and just understanding how to do it. Just learning how it works, how rig removal works. So yeah, I have that software downloaded here. Just wanted to give you a quick look at it. So it's very simple, very easy to work with as soon as you download it. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab one of my images. I'm going to go to see the original. So the frame with the actual rig in it will go on the first layer. We want to grab the background image and put it in the bottom layer, and we can go ahead and click the zoom tool and click whole picture to have it zoomed out and be able to see the whole picture clearly. So now you click on the eraser tool, and as soon as you start erasing, it will show the bottom image, which is the background. So yeah, it's a very simple way of doing this. You can adjust the size of your brush. You could do a lot of stuff like that. The downside to this software, from what I've seen and my experience with it, is it's very cheap feeling. You don't have any feathering with the brush, so it's a very hard brush when you're erasing, or eraser, I guess. So if there's a slight change in the coloring of the background image compared to your foreground image, you're going to notice, a little bit of lighting change, and it doesn't look good. You could tell where you erased. With other software such as Photoshop or After Effects, you have the ability to do feathering and kind of smooth out the edges of your actual brush that you're erasing with, and you can blend it together more. So yeah, the biggest problem with this is you have to have really consistent lighting. You have to have it perfect to not see this at all. That's pretty much impossible to do unless you have a very professional studio setup, which if you did, you wouldn't be using this software in the first place. Okay, the next method is to use Adobe Photoshop, and just like before with the other program, we have two layers. So we have the background image and the foreground image on top of the background image. So if I toggle the foreground image, you could see the background image being revealed. So what we want to do is we want to grab the eraser tool, want to right click and make sure you select a soft brush and not a hard brush, and hit Control plus key or minus key to zoom in or out, and hold space key, after I zoom in, hold space key to grab the hand tool so you can drag to where you want to be positioned. So we go ahead and zoom in, and we can hit the two brackets buttons to make the brush go smaller or bigger, and we can go ahead and start erasing. And immediately you could see this is looking much better than that other program, Bafran, because we have a nice feathered brush that is allowing me to get rid of this rig here. Very, very subtle. You won't really notice it too much. You won't notice that we just took this out, really. You won't. So when you zoom out, it's pretty much seamless. You can't really tell very well. And then you could go in and take out the, you could go get detailed and take out the shadow of the rig too. But so basically, yeah, this is a pretty simple way of doing it, yet very tedious. So one of the benefits of that other program I was showing you, Bafran, you can import all your images. You could also render it out, and you can select your frame rate. With Photoshop, you can't do that. You have to go and save each and every frame individually to your folder. So that's the downside of Photoshop. Though, you know, you'll get better results, will just take longer, I would say, because you can get very detailed with this, and you can make it look much better. The third and final method I'll be showing you today is using Adobe After Effects. So basically, I've already imported the footage right into my project, and then I drag the video clip down to the new composition button, and that is create a new composition with the video settings, everything in there. It's all good. And then I put the background image on the on another layer below the video clip, just like we did in the other methods. So the first thing we want to do is we want to select the foreground image, the one with the rig, and we want to grab the pen tool here. So we grab the pen tool. I'm just using the scroll wheel to zoom in, and we want to go around the rig just very loosely. We're just going to trace around this rig here. And whoa, look at that. So the first time this happened to me, I didn't really know what was going on because I didn't really know much about masking, but now I've learned more. So basically what you want to do is you want to select the video clip, hit the drop down button, and then under masks, you want to select mask 1, and where it says add, you want to drop that down and click subtract. So that's going to be taking away whatever you mask around rather than secluding it. So already we can see it's gone now. The next thing we want to do is under the mask layer, we want to drop down this and we want to hit the mask feathering. So we want to turn that up a bit, maybe 10%, I don't know. So that'll feather the edges, make it nice and soft so we don't see any rough cuts across the video here. The next thing we want to do is we want to hit the stopwatch on all these. I usually just hit the stopwatch on all these because eventually I might be animating all of them. I don't want to have to go in and click the stopwatch for everyone. And we want to select mask expansion. We want to make sure that we're selected on that so we can move it around. So basically what we want to do now is we're going to go frame by frame and get rid of this rig. So you can use the page down and page up key to toggle in between frames. So I'm going to go ahead and go into the next frame by pressing toggle down. And what you want to do is we want to zoom in here, and you want to cover up that rig with the mask. And this isn't the best example because the rig is actually the same color as the armature here I'm working with, so you know, around here it's kind of hard to see exactly where it's at, but I could make a pretty good guess. I can make a pretty good guess. So already you're on your next frame. Now the good thing about this is that when you're animating this one mask here, you don't have to keep on erasing it for every single frame like I did, like what you'd have to do in Photoshop or the other program, Bafran. So now we can just go to, and if I toggle through these frames, you can see this is animated because I have the stopwatch on here. Now we want to just go ahead and go to the next frame and repeat the process, which I'm not going to keep on doing that because it would take forever.